Trust.
This call is now being recorded.
Number 8, creativity. So these are the basic characteristics of a child. So is that taken now?
Yes, sir. Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much.
Thank you very much. All right. So it seems it's only Princess that is active. Amaka, are you following us?
It's Amaka that's been
It's
asking
Amaka that's been
question.
asking questions. Okay. Princess, where are you? Okay. Any other person in the house? Yeah. You are there? Okay. Let us go to child's right now. What are those rights that we know children have? And it seems they don't have it. Which the mass media which the mass media hope to bring to limelight. What are those rights? Child's rights are human rights of children, with particular attention to the right of special protection and care. So there is this, you know what the right, the United Nations Convention on the Right of the Child is the most widely ratified international human rights treaty. This, what we're talking about here, the United Nations Convention on the Right of the Child, is a worldwide right which tends to protect the right of every child across the globe. So if you must be a member of United Nations, you must domicile this convention, this right of a child, in your own constitution. So suffice to say that the Nigerian constitution has all these rights that United Nations has outlined, which are to protect the right of a child. Among because the cause itself is mass media advocacy for child rights. Okay, number one, rights to life. Rights to life. Rights to life. Like I told you before, every child has right to live. Just the way you as an adult has right to live. No one has right to terminate your life. But where we get it wrong sometimes is to attribute this to human beings that are existing, like a child that is already a baby, maybe from the 0 year to maybe infinity. No, I told you before that even a child, a fetus in the mother's womb, is already a being, even though it's not yet born. It's a life. There's already a life there. Any attempt for you to terminate that child's life, you are infringing on this right to life of a child. Therefore, you'll be liable for the law. You have caused the loss of a life if you terminate the yet to be born child through the process of abortion. So we must endeavor not to violate this right of a child because it is a United Nations declaration. Every child, every child has right to life. So that is number one. Number two, right to a name and nationality. Every child has right to identity by name and nationality for easy identification. What we are saying here is that every child, having been born, have right to be identified by name. That is why we name our children, we give them by way of giving them the name we identify them with. And the nationality of the child is based on where the child is born and where the parent, depending on the law of such a country. Then number three, right to freedom of expression and information. Nobody says nobody should tell a child to be silent, that the voice should not be heard. No, just the way you as adult has your right to to expression. The same way the child has right to his own expression. What do we mean by this? It's only this part of the world that will silence the child. But in the Western world, children have more right than even adults. Just the way women have more right than men in the Western world. A child can pick up the telephone and call the police to arrest the father because the father does something that is not within the ambit of the law, or felt that the father oppresses him, or the father has offended him, and things like that. Although sometimes in Africa, we are quick to say such things are against our culture and tradition, that a child cannot do that to the father. But where somewhere in the Western world, that is not the fact. But what is workable there is the rule of law. What does law say about this? If the father transgress the law against the child has the right to call the police to arrest the father. It's not a big deal. But it's only here that it is a big deal for the child to call the police for the father. And so that is why where the law is actually practicable. Then number 4, now right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. It doesn't mean that because I am a Muslim, my child must certainly become a Muslim. A child has right to freedom of thought and expression and religion. You can choose to be a Christian even if your father is a Muslim, and the other way around, you're a Muslim, your child can become what? A Christian. So nothing stop. There's no hard facts about it. The rights of the child guarantee the child to make choice of religion, thought, and expression. So no one should deny the child of that right. Because still coming back to what I was saying before, it's only here where we hold on to tradition to oppress the child to
Hello,
say,
Dr. Fadin. Hello, sir.
Dr. Fadi, hello, sir. Yes, sir.
There's a lot of
There's a lot of
background sound from your
background
mic.
sound from your mic. Okay.
I don't know if you can
I don't
reduce
know
it
if you
because
can reduce it
the
because
class is being
the
recorded.
class is being recorded.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you, sir. No problem, sir. All right. Class, are you with me? Is the background sound reduced now?
Yes, it's better now.
Yes, it's better now. It's better now. It was my fan that was doing that. Should have alerted me earlier now. All right. So it's only in this part of the world that we believe that everything is. When we want to oppress the child, we now begin to say culture and tradition says we should do this, we should do that. So, child has right to make choice of religion. Child has the right to make choice to express himself when the need arises. It is not just for you to suppress the child's thought, suppress the child's emotion, suppress the child's feelings, or in the name of shut up. When it comes to your time, it's not your time. When it comes to your time, you can do that. But for now, I am your father. I am the one that does this one for you. To the point that even right now, as we speak now, there are some homes that a father will not even allow the child to make a choice. Want to buy clothes for your child for Christmas. This is another thing. You say a child does not have right to make choice. That you are the one that will choose for the child and all sort of things like that. That is not the best thing. So the child should be given the right to make choice, to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. Okay, the fifth one is right to freedom from discrimination. This one simply put means a child should not be discriminated against for any reason. Don't discriminate against the child. If the child, it is the position of the child to earn that glory. Please let the child earn this. Don't for any reason discriminate against that child. Then the sixth one is right to protection from abuse and neglect as a result of innocence. This is very, 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 very common because of the child's innocence. A whole lot of persons take undue advantage of children, especially the female children, especially the female children. That is where people will see a child hawking in the streets because they know that the child is innocent. The next thing they do is how much is everything that you're selling? They say it's 500 naira. I say, okay, if I give you 500 naira now, come follow me to this place and I'll give you this 500 and I will add another 500 to it. That become 1,000. And you take that one, go and give the other one to your mommy. Then you now begin to take undue advantage of that child, that to sexually molest the child or do all sort of things to that child because the child you are taking advantage of the child innocence. There's a law that protects the child from such abuse. So if you don't know, that is why the mass media, which discourse is out there to sensitize the general public on the need to protect the right of the child against abuse and neglect. We have also seen that these days human trade is very flourishing. Let us not even go international. Within the local distance here, if you go around, you see these little children who are employed as house help or they're even sold into house help venture by their parents. This one is not even by their own parents. Little children are the most especially from Benue State, Cross River State, Akwa Ibom State. You see them everywhere around Edo State. What are they doing? They are adopted. Sometimes they are sold into these things that they are doing here because they felt they took advantage of the innocence of the child to abuse the child and do all sorts of things. There is a law that guides against such. Then the next right is right to protection from exploitation by the adults. That seems close to what I said before. Right to exploitation from the adult. You don't capitalize on the age of the child to begin to exploit the child, either sexually or otherwise. There are some persons that when they have children at home or even old people, young people who live with them, they go out to make money. They send out to go and hawk. They send out to go and do all sorts of things. And at the end of the day, when they come back, they collect the money from them. They are using them as tools. That is exploitation. Some buys these girls and they send them out in the night to go and get involved in these prostitution work, and when they come, they bring back the money to them, and all sort of things like that. That is exploitation. Then number 8, right to education. Every child should have access to education. In short, there's even a law in Edo State that at 8 o'clock, between 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the evening, any child of school age that is found outside hawking, the parents will be arrested because the government have tried to make basic education very compulsory so that everyone can have access to education, basic education. So you have no reason to say it is because of the money, because that's why it is free. So you have no reason to say I was unable to pay for the child's school fees. That's why the child is at home. We are not saying no child should hawk or should help the parents to make a living. But every child that is of school age must be found to be in school at school hours. When you come back from school, you can help to make some money for your parents. Because after all, some of us who are your lecturers today, we went through this. When we come back from school, we go to farm. We go to farm to help our parents to work in the farm. When we come back in the night. When we come back in the night, between 7 and 8, we try to see whether we can read our books. But yet we made it. But I don't subscribe to those who say when you send a child to work, it is an offense. But for me, it's a way of helping parents to also raise. But it should not be done during school hour. That's what, because the child has right to education, right to health care. The child is expected to have unlimited access to healthcare facility as contained in the Millennium Development Goal. This will, this will in many ways help to reduce the maternal the rate at which children dies as a result of lack of access to health care. So maternal mortality rate will be reduced as a result of right access. I mean the child access to healthcare facilities. So these are so many other things, so many other rights are available for child rights. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how far we have. I mean, I don't know how well you have been with me. If you can ask questions, let's ask questions because our time is far spent so that we can call it a wrap for today. I would have wanted the class to continue, but I have another class by 8 to 9. So let us call it a wrap. If you have questions to ask, please ask me before we call it a day.
Dr. Sonisa,
Yes, sir.
I have a question.
I have a question.
Okay, sir.
The
The question is about the
hawking.
hawking. You said children
Ask
can
my
ask
parents to
their
hawk.
parents to hawk.
Yes, sir.
Is there no
Is
specific
there no
law
specific law
against that?
against
Hawking.
that hawking?
Yes, there are rules, there are laws that were made recently by the Edo State government that every child that is found hawking along the street during school hours, specifically from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 in the evening. And when that child is found hawking in the street, that child will be arrested and kept by the government until the parents come and they will now arrest the parents in place of the child before they will not take the child for rehabilitation. So, but no specific law says no child should hawk maybe outside these hours because we still find them in the street because I'm sure the essence of that thing is that no, it is not out of place for children to actually. But there's also a clause in the law that says not when they are doing that thing, they should not be exposed to danger at odd hours and at places where their life will be easily like those children going inside the traffic and all those things. Those are not the type we're talking about. Those ones, the specific law that said they should not be found in places that will predispose them to dangers. Danger of physical danger by way of being knocked down by vehicle. Another one, maybe they are found at odd hours where they can easily be taken advantage of by way of those adults who want to sexually molest the female or the other ones there. So, but basically, there's a law that guard against hawking during school hours, and I also prevent them from being found in at dangerous hours and dangerous places.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Can
Sir.
you
do
student
the
assignment?
student assignment?
That does submit
Okay.
your
I
email.
will submit your email.
Okay. Class, are you there with? Are you here with us?
Yes, sir, I am.
Yes, sir. I am.
Okay. I want to give an assignment now. I want you to assess the various aspects of the media, or choose one aspect of the media, and assess how such can be used to promote the right of the child. There are different aspects of the media. Choose one aspect of it, and critically assess how such avenue can be used to propagate the child's right. I don't know whether you get the question. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Okay. To choose an aspect of the media. Media is very large. I hope you know. Very large. Choose an aspect of the media and critically use that aspect of the media that I've chosen to expose how the child's rights can be effectively propagated in the society. Is it the social media you are choosing? Is it the radio you are choosing? Is it the television? Is it the print? Which of these ones are you choosing to be used as a means of propagating child's rights? Maybe you choose an aspect of a child right that has been violated. That use that aspect of the media now to propagate that child's this thing. So you will do that one for me, maybe in a matter of between now and the next class. That should be the assignment should be ready.
Your email, sir.
Your email, sir. Your email, sir.
My email. Okay, my email is. I should mention my email here.
Yes, sir. So they can submit it to your email.
Okay. sonnyosas@gmail.com. For you, SONNYOSA1@gmail.com. I take that again. SONNYOSAS1@gmail.com. Is it taking?
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So, any further questions? I've not entertained question from you guys. So, the question I got was from Dr. Achiono, the coordinator of this program.
From my
Amaka,
end, there's no
From my
question.
end, there's no
Yes,
question. Yes,
Amaka, are you sure?
yes, there's no question.
Yes, there's no question.
Okay, Princess, how about your end?
There's no question, sir.
There's no question.
So everything well understood. Everything well understood, Abi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's all right. So we call it a wrap, and I see you again on Tuesday next week. Have a wonderful night's rest.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, no problem.